Axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, stop the crime. It's common sense. Let's bring it home.
Will you make female safe spaces safe again by introducing legislation that bans so-called transgender women from participating in female sports and getting access into female shelters and female prisons?
Female spaces should be exclusively for females.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Kitchener, Ontario. And folks, I'm standing outside Fiddlehead's Health and Nutrition Shop. This is going to be the venue for a Pierre Poilievre press conference. I imagine the Conservative Party leader is going to weigh in on, well, basically Big Pharma targeting the health and nutrition sector. All kinds of proposed legislation is coming down the pike. We'll see what Mr. Poilievre has to say, but I'm hoping to get a question in about, well, transanity. As you know, folks, for the last few years, we have been covering what can only be described as a war on women. In other words, we have men pretending to be females, and they are invading the safe spaces of real women. And by that I mean female sports ranging from volleyball and swimming to rugby, female shelters, female prisons. I want to see what Mr. Poilievre has to say in terms of, if elected as our next Prime Minister, will he pledge to make female safe spaces safe again? Let's go in and see what he has to say.
Welcome to Kitchener, where it costs more for a 2-bedroom than it does for a castle in Sweden on a lake. Because after 8 years of Justin Trudeau and the NDP, housing costs have doubled across Canada. After 8 years of Trudeau, it now costs over $2,000 for a 2-bedroom. When I was housing minister, it was $1,000. And then you have crime and chaos in our communities. Crime and chaos caused by Justin Trudeau's catch and release policies, supported by the NDP. Yes, they want to ban your hunting rifle, but they have no problem releasing repeat violent criminals into our streets to terrorize our people and destroy our communities. They decriminalize hard drugs like crack and cocaine while handing out tax-funded opioids that are then sold on to children. Here we are in a natural health food store. Justin Trudeau has accepted Big Pharma's plan to force complicated taxes, fees, and regulations on natural health supplements that will cause 1 in 5 of these stores to go out of business, that will cause the majority of labels to no longer offer their product in Canada or develop them here. And of course, it will force Canadians to buy more pharmaceutical medicines, which is the goal, so that Canadians have to profit Big Pharma rather than taking care of their health. We will bring back freedom by repealing the censorship, by standing up against big government, by letting Canadians make their own decisions and take back control of their lives. Axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, stop the crime. It's common sense. Let's bring it home.
Good morning, Mr. Poilievre. David Menzies with Rebel News. Mr. Poilievre, for the last few years, our news organization has been covering what can only be described as a war on women. Biological males are pretending to be females, and these men are invading female safe spaces. This includes female sports ranging from volleyball to rugby. As well, men pretending to be women are gaining access to female shelters and even female prisons. This has collectively led to real women and girls being emotionally abused, physically injured. My question, sir, is should you form the next federal government, will you make female safe spaces safe again by introducing legislation that bans so-called transgender women from participating in female sports and getting access into female shelters and female prisons?
Female spaces should be exclusively for females, not for biological males. You asked if I introduced legislation on that. A lot of the spaces you described are provincially and municipally controlled. So it is unclear what federal legislation what reach federal legislation would have to change them. But obviously, female sports female change rooms, female bathrooms should be for females, not for biological males.
Hey folks, my cameraman Lincoln Jay and I, we traveled all the way out to Kitchener, Ontario to catch the latest Conservative press conference. But you know what? We do have our expenses. Can you help us out? Can you go to rebelfieldreports.com? That's rebelfieldreports.com. We don't accept any federal money as part of our business plan, unlike the mainstream media. We count on you. So if you can go to rebelfieldreports.com and make a donation, that would be greatly appreciated.